So I was out here changing the water in my stock tank, and just realized there's a big, huge storm rolling in. That is really, those are some dark clouds. Looks like we could get some hail with that storm. Okay, so this heater chiller controller is driving me crazy. So I came out here and it said it was 68 degrees and it's still chilling. So I'm going to plan Z. So check this out, guys. So I actually have this little, it's actually a greenhouse thermostat, and I've always used it in heating mode. But apparently you can take the cover off and move this white wire over to this yellow post here, and it converts to turn air conditioners on and off. So that's what I'm going to try to do with my air conditioner, is basically run it to this and this will control my the cool cycle. So there you have it. I moved that wire over. Now I'm going to put it back together and give it a shot. Okay, so here's another issue. Just these two lights with that cold storm coming through. We're at 67. So I think I'm going to need a different heat source besides these lights to heat this up. Alright guys, you want to see something ridiculous? Take a look at this. Alright, this is my final plan for the madness. Alright, so that air conditioner heater unit is totally whacked. I just set it to cool mode at 80, and it just kept chilling and chilling, even though it was mid-70s. So what I'm going to do, so I took this and I hooked it up directly to the chiller unit. So let me show you how this is set. So let's see if you can see this. So basically what happens, I have it set on 80 now, which means it's off. And if you bring it down to 70, it kicks on the AC. And that AC actually remembers the last, the mode it was in, so it should go right into cool mode. So I'll set this at 80, and if it goes above 80 right here, then the AC should kick on. And then what I have up here is my jump start. So see, it's like 73 degrees in here. There's no way that should be chilling. So it needs to be heating. So basically I hook this up, and I have the probe for the heater right next to the probe for the chiller. So, and I think I can tie all this up and get it out of the way, and I think this is probably high enough here to keep the dogs off of it. And then I put my heater here. I found this old heater in my basement. And then what I'm going to do is just crank the heater all the way, and that should blow down. And that should be plenty of heat to heat this whole place. I'm almost thinking I can point it away from the dogs. I don't know how it'll be down here. Oh yeah, I think it'll be pretty good. Yeah, so the heat, even though it's blowing down, heat rises, so it's not really real hot right here. So what that's going to do is that's going to heat until this says 80. And I have it actually set at 80. So that should turn off. So I just have to kind of watch that it doesn't trigger the cooling while it's heating, because then it'll be cooling and heating at the same time, and it kind of defeats the purpose. But I know it's kind of a temporary situation until I get this new chiller heater unit in with a control panel that actually works. So this is just kind of what I came up with. And then I took all the heat lamps down because they weren't really that effective at all. And I just keep this one little lamp with the LED in it just for some light at night. So it'll be interesting to see how this works. I might have to adjust the temperatures a little bit, so they're not both running at the same time, but that's kind of the craziest thing I've ever came up with, so we'll see how it works. Alright, so I have one more upgrade to this crazy heated air-conditioned doghouse. Let me show you what that is. So take a look at this. So I mounted this, I think this fan up at Staples for like $15, and actually it's on low right now. That's medium and that's high. But basically this fan is just to break up the heat gradient in here. I'm not sure exactly if I want to keep it on high or not, but the reason I lowered this down is to kind of bring the heat down in the heat, because there's a huge heat gradient. So when I came in here, you know, this thing was going and it was sucking air in the bottom one, and the temperature out there was 75, and then I'd come in here and read the probe up here, and it was like 92 degrees on the top when the sun was hitting it. So there's a huge heat differential between the top and the bottom. So this should break it up. It should be consistent through the whole thing. And right now I have it set to 80 degrees. So it should eventually go up to 80. This is actually, I turned this down to low now. It doesn't really matter if it's on high or low, because it's basically being controlled by this thermostat here. So as soon as this hits 80, it'll turn this off, and then this will ensure that the air in here is continually circulated. And then this, I think what I want to do now is I'm going to turn this on, because I had the cool setting set to 80 degrees, and I think what I want to do is actually set the thermostat out there to like 75 or 70. It doesn't really matter as long as it's cooler. And then it'll be controlled by this, because I want to set this probably maybe at 82, 81. So there definitely has to be a differential between the cooling and the heating. So, you know, I might actually set the heat to 78. I could probably do that now. So basically what you do is you just hold it until it flashes and then go down and then set it. So now it's set at 78. So maybe I'll set the heat to 78 and then the cool to like 80 on this side. And I assume, well, there could be a difference in calibration between this 80 and that 80. So what I really need to do is let this whole thing equilibrate to like 78 degrees, and then make sure this coil on here is at 78, and then kind of go in here and then tweak it and make sure there's enough room in here between the 78 of the heat and the temperature that the chiller actually comes on. So that's kind of my thought. It's a pretty complicated setup. I did get rid of one of the power strips, so basically I just still have the little lamp here just for light at night, and the light that's coming in from the top, that's just from the sun. So that is my crazy setup for these crazy little puppies, and hopefully it's not too windy down here. It actually is pretty drafty right here. I don't know, and that's on high, so we'll see how it goes. I could probably actually point it at a slightly different angle. I could probably even point it there to where it's not. I think that's even worse. That is really drafty. I think what I have to do is just turn it down. I might just try it on 1, so it's not so drafty for the puppies. Okay guys, I even have an even bigger problem. I left the remote sitting out here in the rain and now it's not working. That could be a huge issue. So one of my viewers posted a question under one of the videos and they asked, so why do you only feed Irish grain? And that's actually a good question. So when I first had my cows, I kind of mixed them all together, all these Black Angus and Irish. She is a Jersey cow, so she's a milk cow. And because she produces so much milk, she actually has a really high metabolism. And if I don't feed her grain, she will get so skinny her bones will stick out. As a matter of fact, these guys, I can feed them almost anything. You just look at this bull, how much body condition, and that's just on regular old grass hay. I mean, there's not, and basically what you're looking at is, you know, the ribs, if any ribs stick out, and kind of in this area, like right in the hip area here, you can tell. So when Irish gets real skinny, she'll like sink in a whole lot right here, and then you can't even see their ribs, like right here. But Irish, if you don't feed her enough grain, her ribs stick out, and her spine on the top just gets sunken in. Oh, what's the matter? Oh, what's the matter? And you can actually see her ribs a little bit now. And I've been feeding her 20 pounds of grain a day, and this is the best she has looked for a long time. So if you don't calve them, I mean, if you don't get them pregnant and they don't have calves and they don't have milk, you really don't need to feed them that much grain. But she produces so much milk, and all of her body condition just goes right to her milk. So actually, for a while, I was feeding her 10 pounds of grain a day, and she's basically barely maintained her body condition, but she didn't gain any weight. And it's right here between the ribs that you can definitely tell if she's getting enough grain or not. So I've been doing 20 pounds a day, and she's really gained a lot back. And after she calves, you know, I could try cutting it down a little bit, but 20 pounds a day seems to be just about right for that girl. So take a look at this little girl. She's following me around like a puppy dog. She's like, come back for your lickings and kisses. Well, I don't know if you noticed how much bigger she's gotten. Just, it's probably kind of hard to tell in the video, but one of the reasons I do these ear tags, well, I do ear tags a little bit different than anybody else. So I have my name, my phone number on the front and the back, and mainly if they get lost up here in the middle of the wilderness, I want people to be able to just see that tag and call me. But another reason for tags is they grow so fast. I mean, in 6 months you would not recognize this girl, because she'll be another 600 pounds. So she'll be probably 750 pounds. She will not look like the same animal. So you'll see this girl, as the season goes on, she will grow like a rocket. It's just kind of unbelievable. So I had another viewer ask me about the ridges on the puppies, and they asked, so if they don't have a ridge, will they ever get a ridge? And they're born with a ridge or without a ridge, and they won't actually develop the ridge. So it's pretty much a permanent thing. So I just heard back from the manufacturer of this Climate Right air conditioner, heater, doghouse, climate control unit, and this is what she says. She says, honestly, I would suggest you not using the auto mode, as it does not regulate the temperature inside the structure as you think it would. Use either the cool mode or the heat mode only. This unit's programming is not high-tech enough to consistently switch back and forth between heat and cool mode. So there you have it, the Climate Right that can't switch back and forth between the heat and the cool accurately monitor the temperature and control it. So I think right now I have it in cool mode, you know, I have it set up and it seems to be working great. I went out there, that hailstorm we had, I brought the temperature down last night to the mid 30s, and I went out there, it was a perfect 78, and now it's, you know, towards the end of the day, and the sun was hitting it, and it was really hot in there on the side of the shed, but the cooler was coming on, and it was just a little above 80, so I think the way I have it's dialed in pretty good. Check it out, these guys are 4 days old now. Yeah, they're getting bigger. They are getting bigger. Almost squash proof. I gave Mama some dry food in the corner yesterday. Last night she didn't eat it. But she's going crazy over that canned food. I'm thinking she might need a couple more cans. These guys are so cute. She definitely needs a couple more cans. Apparently Mama only wants canned food. And she's going crazy over that food. Man, goodness. So I have this temperature tracker in here. 75 in here, it's about the perfect temperature. High of 88, that was actually for my incubator. It should reset within 24 hours. Low is 73, so it looks like it's been working really good the way I have this set up. These guys are so cute. So these guys are 4 days old now. I can't believe how big they're growing so fast. These guys are growing like rockets. Whew. I can't even believe it. Monty's just chowing down that canned dog food. I'm giving her 6 cans a day, believe it or not. These guys are awesome. And as cute as those guys are, I have something even cuter. Check this out. Alright guys, so I am really excited about this clutch of eggs. So this is one of the ones I've really been looking forward to. And it's supposed to hatch. This is 4 days past 55. I've been marking them at 55 days, which is the 26th. And it's 4 days past that. And I actually looked in there this morning. I saw one little head peeking out. Ooh! I actually see one snake actually out of the egg. So it's definitely time to take a look at these and cut them. And the pairing was pastel pinstripe number 1. Let's see if I can find her. So this was the female here. And she laid a big, huge 10 egg clutch. It was magnificent. I couldn't believe it. So she has the pastel gene and the pinstripe gene. Pastel pinstripe. They also call a pastel pinstripe a lemon blast. And I crossed her with my scaleless head. So this is my scaleless head male. It has a few scales missing on the head. And the scaleless head, if you don't know anything about it, you're just watching for the first time. If you breed 2 scaleless heads together, you can actually get a totally scaleless snake. So, kind of the trick to me for this one, this year, is to try to get a female, because I just have the male right now. Oh, you can see his head right there, pretty good. So, I just have the male right now, and I really need to breed a male to a female to get the all scaleless, and I don't have a female yet. And females are still really expensive, so I'm hoping to get one out of this clutch. So I actually opened these up a few days ago, and there's a lot of condensation. I think the closer you get to hatching, especially with this new system with the press and seal, you really don't want it dripping on the eggs, and I don't really see in these two that it's actually at a point where it's dripping. But just look at these eggs. I can't even believe how beautiful they are. After 2 months in the incubator, these have been some of my eggs that are really the most beautiful out of. They've really kept their condition really well. And of course, it looks like the very first snake that I see, to me, looks like a normal, not a scaleless head, not a pastel, and not a pinstripe. But we'll see what else we have here. So let me set up the tripod and I'll kind of go through these. Okay, so I just pulled one of the eggs that actually has a few slits in it. When they start coming out, they basically slit the egg open with their egg tooth, and that's kind of how you know they're ready. So I'm just going to start right here and kind of cut along the top here. Huh. This one, wow. This one actually looks like a... This definitely has pinstripe in it. Not sure if it has pastel. And really, I need to see the head to know if it's scaleless head. Ha! Wherever the head is. Oh! I see a nose. Ha! That one does not look like a scaleless head, unfortunately. I think this is just it looks just like a pinstripe to me, not a scaleless head, unfortunately. Okay, and then this one, I just need to start one little tiny little spot. So what I do is I just start the tiniest little spot, and then I kind of stick the scissors in and kind of go lift it up a little bit. This one looks like another pinstripe. Boy, this one's really watery. It's got a lot of water in it. Hopefully you can see that centered in the camera. Let's see here. I'm going to open this a little bit more. Boy, I really want to see the head. You can still see there's still a few veins on there, but at this point they should be perfectly fine. Cutting them open. Well, I can't see anything. Ooh, I think that's the head right there. Boy. I still can't tell on this one. I might have to wait till he comes out, actually. or we can come back to it. That is a slimy mess. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen one with so much liquid in it. Oh, yuck. Alright. Well, that's a pinstripe. Inconclusive about the scaleless head. Whew. That is really something. Wow. That one was still in the big water bath. Alright, let's go to the next one. I'm pretty excited. See what we got here. So what I like to do is kind of get like a little, just a little pinch. Make sure it's away from the snake before I go in. Some people use smaller scissors, but I kind of like the blunt edge of the big scissors. And when I cut, I kind of like to kind of go in and lift up, just to make sure I'm not hitting anything. Ooh, now that looks like a nice pastel there. You see the head right there? No? It's not the head. Wow, that's a really bright yellow. Ooh, there's the head. There's the head. Look at that. It's not a scaleless head. Oh. Those are some terrible odds there, huh? Just a regular old pastel. Huh. Well, two that are not scaleless heads. One, I don't know. Let's see. So, what else do we have? No, we actually had... Yeah, and then the one that crawled out, which is another normal. Huh. So, out of 4, we don't have a scaleless head yet. This is the 5th one in that box. Not very good odds. Not very good odds. Let's see what we have on this one. Ooh, this one looks like a lemon blast here. Definitely a pastel pinstripe. Now the question is, did we hit the scaleless head? If we did, that would be awesome. This one I really want to see. Oh, look at that. He's got a really small head. Wow, look at that. I don't know what happened to his head. It's smaller than I've ever seen. And I do believe it is a scaleless head. But he has a really tiny head. Huh. I don't know if you can see that, but that is definitely, whew, he wants to come out. Definitely a scaleless head. I don't know about that tiny head though. That's kind of weird. That's really weird. It looks like he's got a big body though. I don't know. Huh. It almost looks like there's something else in there. That's kind of weird. I really didn't want them to come all the way out. I wanted to keep them in there, but... Alright. See, and the other thing is I put them back in the box and they get all full of vermiculite. I'm actually moved these guys over to a different kind of a setup here. So I actually decided to put this little ceiling grate tile in that I had in my other boxes originally. And I don't know, this scaleless head lemon blast, when he crawled out of the shell, he's got this big kind of yolk sac stuck on him, and that small head, I don't know if he'll survive. I would say it's probably pretty questionable on that. Something happened there, and I don't think it developed properly. So he's kind of acting kind of dizzy, almost like a spider too. So I don't know if that one would actually survive very long, but we'll see. So these guys, I'm going to put them back in the incubator, and we'll take a look at this other box. The other thing I noticed is you want to get these eggshells out of the incubator as fast as you can, because they really stink bad. And I noticed when my incubator starts smelling bad, it means I have some babies hatching and there's eggshells left behind, and I like to get rid of them as fast as I can. Okay, so one box down, one to go. That wasn't very good. Looks like we have one question mark as far as the scaleless head. One lemon blast scaleless head that doesn't look too good, and the rest not scaleless heads. So we'll see what this other box has. Alright, so this guy, he's kind of sticking his head out a little bit, and it almost looks like a lemon blast, not a scaleless head. But I'm going to kind of help him out a little bit, see what we can see. Boy, it's like his head is stuck out of that little hole there. He needs a little help. Alright, yep. This guy is a lemon blast, that's for sure. Lemon blast, not a scaleless head. That one. Alright. Let's see on this one. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. That might help you. I'll try to keep it centered. Okay. I'm amazed that it's 4 days after, and a lot of these don't even have slits in them yet. Then I open them and they look fully developed, so am I getting out of your range of view here? My biggest fear is cutting the snake. I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot of lemon blasts this year. That is a lemon blast. And I can see his head. I just can't get to it. This one's got a lot of liquid in it too. Alright, buddy. He is pretty buried down there. Can't really see. Whew. That is a slimy mess. Alright, I'm not going to dig too far into that one. I'm just going to wait on that one too. Since he's kind of hiding his head. Alright, this is getting pretty nasty. Let's try this one. It's actually pretty good odds if I was wanting to do hit the lemon blast. Because really I could hit, I haven't hit a pinstripe yet, which is kind of amazing. This one actually looks like a pastel. And some of my pastels, at some point I'm going to go through my hatchlings, and I have one pastel that's just really, really bright. So here's a pastel. So hopefully this guy will be a scaleless head. Some of these we might just have to wait. I don't see this guy coming out either anytime soon. They say it's not really good to pull them out of the egg all the way. So I cannot see this guy either. Alright, that's going to be another question mark. Another pastel. We'll have to come back in a few days and really take a look at them a little bit better. Alright. So let's take a look at this one. I'm hoping their head's right on the top. These last couple. Hey, this one looks like a pinstripe. That one looks just like a pinstripe. Well, the hard thing about scaleless head is you really gotta almost have them out of the shell to see. I can see the top of his face, but can't really see his head. And I really don't think he's ready to come out, so I really can't tell on that one. Huh. That's kind of interesting, though. Oh. Alright, that's question mark 2. I think on these scaleless heads we're just going to have to be a little patient and wait, because I don't want to pull them all the way out. I don't think they're ready to come out yet. Oh, am I in the middle? Alright. I don't know how the odds are going to be on this clutch, but it looks like as far as not hitting any normals, we're doing pretty good, except that one. Looks like we got one normal. There's another one. I can just barely see the top of his head. Looks like not a scaleless head. And that one looks like a pastel. So, whew, not good odds, I guess. So basically, that was pretty much a bust for the scaleless heads. There's, what, 3 question marks maybe, so... And I set this one up the same way as the other one. Just put it on the... Put the grade in there. I think that's a good idea. And then, I'm not even going to put the press and seal. I'm just going to put this right back on. And put it back in the incubator. So... So there you have it. Not very good odds on that clutch. And there's 3 kind of question marks. We'll go back to those, and I'll give you an update later, but I'm hoping at least one of them is a decent scaleless head. We just had the one that looked like it was a little deformed, which is unfortunate. So I did actually have a couple more scaleless head clutches that I'll be cutting, so we'll have to take a look at those. And then I do have another clutch, a Coral Glow, that I crossed with a normal, and that should be hatching, I think, in about 3 days. So that'll probably be in my next video, so stay tuned for that one. Thanks for watching.